Welcome back to VideoDD Daily, your source for all things AI and video infrastructure. Today we're going to take a deep dive into a new tool from Microsoft. It's called Omniparser, and it's really changing how AI can work with the stuff we see on our screens. Imagine AI that can, not just recognize things in the user interface, but actually use them, clicking buttons, filling out forms, going through menus, all from just simple instructions. That's the kind of potential that Omniparser is unlocking. So it's a powerful new way that Microsoft developed for parsing, breaking down screenshots of user interfaces into structured elements. What that means is it can take the visual stuff we see on a screen and make it into something that AI can actually understand and interact with. You might be thinking, well, isn't that what image recognition already does? And to a point, yeah, you'd be right. But Omniparser goes a step further. It doesn't just recognize what's in the image, it gets the relationship between all the different elements and how they actually function within the interface. Let's think about a simple button on a website. Image recognition can tell you, hey, that's a button, or maybe what it says. But Omniparser can understand that clicking that button is going to make something happen, like maybe submitting a form or opening a new page. And that is a huge step forward in getting AI to really use interfaces in a useful way. And this isn't all just theory either. Microsoft actually released a tool called OmniTool that uses Omniparser v2, the newest version, to control over a tool Windows 11 machine. Seeing it in action is pretty amazing. You just give commands in plain English, and the AI uses Omniparser to figure out the layout of that virtual machine screen, and then it just does what you asked it to do. What's even cooler is that OmniTool can work with all kinds of large models, like the ones from OpenAI, DeepSeek, and Anthropic. What this means is that developers can use the best language model for what they need, and still use the power of Omniparser to connect the language and visual interfaces. Now, to really get why Omniparser is such a big deal, we have to understand how it's changing what AI can do. For example, it's gotten some amazing results on benchmarks like ScreenSpot Pro. Basically, ScreenSpot Pro is a test to see how well AI can understand and find specific things within a user interface. It's like, imagine a super complicated game of Where's Waldo, but for AI. And Omniparser v2 is like winning that game, which means it's getting really good at working with the digital world. Okay, so how does Omniparser actually work? At the heart of it are two models that work together, the icon detection model and the icon captioning model. The icon detection model uses something called the YOLO architecture, and it's in charge of finding icons within an interface. So say you're looking at, a screenshot of your computer desktop. This model can quickly pick out every icon, whether it's your browser or a file explorer, or even that little game you like to play. But finding icons is only part of the puzzle, right? The AI also needs to know what they mean and what they do. That's where the icon captioning model comes in. It uses advanced stuff like Blip and Florence to give descriptions of the icons. It's kind of like giving them labels that the AI can get. So the icon detection model says, hey, that's an icon. And the icon captioning model says that icon is Chrome, your web browser. Now the AI understands a lot more about what it's looking at and how to actually interact with it. And get this, both of these models are available on Hugging Face. It's a pretty popular platform for sharing AI models. So this means that developers and researchers can try out Omniparser, build new things with it, and contribute to how it keeps developing. And Microsoft has really made Omniparser super accessible to everyone. They've put everything on a dedicated GitHub repository, all the code, examples, even a Gradio demo that you can mess around with to see Omniparser doing its thing. Plus, they're working on adding it to Claude computer use on Hugging Face space, which is really cool and is going to make this technology even more powerful. And if you really want to dive deep into the technical stuff, Microsoft has a whole blog post about Omniparser v2, plus a full technical report. But honestly, more than the technical details, what gets me excited about Omniparser is what it means for the future. Tools like this are really starting to blend how humans and AI interact with tech. It's not just about AI understanding what we see, it's about it actually taking action, making decisions, navigating the digital world like something out of science fiction. And that's a game changer, not just for developers, but for all of us. Think about accessibility, for example. Omniparser could totally change how people with disabilities use computers. It can make technology more inclusive and give everyone more power. And think about all the things we could automate, all those boring, time-consuming tasks that AI could just take care of for us. That would free us up to focus on more interesting, more creative work. But like with any powerful new technology, we have to think about the ethical side of things too. How do we make sure tools like Omniparser are used for good? How do we prevent them from being misused? These are really important questions we need to answer as a society as AI keeps evolving. But one thing's for sure, the future of AI interacting with the digital world is looking pretty amazing, and Omniparser is a huge step in that direction. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into Omniparser today here in VideoDD Daily. I hope you enjoy exploring this as much as I did. If you want to learn more, check out the show notes. We've got links to everything we talked about. Until next time, keep exploring the cutting edge of AI and video infrastructure.